Handlebar width. It's a real personal one, but generally speaking, it should match your shoulder width roughly. Think about bars aren't expensive, particularly if you're talking alloy ones. But yeah, the move aerodynamics wise is very much to narrow aero bars, but just make sure they're roughly similar sort of width to your shoulders and not out like this. Okay. The drop, by the way, as I said earlier, it's the difference between the saddle and the tops of the handlebars. Now, previous aerodynamic thinking was about having an absolutely slam stem, having a bigger drop as possible, but that's not always the way to go, because aerodynamically, it's not as effective as once thought. Actually, modern aerodynamic thinking is about getting narrow and reducing your frontal profile, and then thinking about how you guide the air around that frontal profile. So, for instance, in triathlon, when they're all shoving bottles down the front of their shirts, what that was about closing the gap a little bit between kind of basically your chin and your hands, and then sort of splitting the air and sort of directing it around the outside of your body. So drop and slamming the stem isn't everything. You will see the angle of your shifters and the angle of your bars is massive for impacting your reach. And for me, it's always one I have to do a lot of work on in order to find comfort sitting on the back of the saddle. So for years and years, I used to really like having quite angled down handlebars so I could just rest my hands and I could get like a really aero position. But it was impacting how I was sitting on the saddle, and how how easy it was for me to relax. So I've changed that quite recently, and I'm moving to more aero handlebars so my hands can sit more comfortably on the outside of them. Cleat and pedal position. Now, the 4.5 position will determine your foot's alignment over the pedal axle. I'll talk about that a little bit in the next break. And then cleat angle and rotation encourages kind of how your knee moves, as does the float, etc. Really, you want it straight. So again, like a flat saddle, it gives you a good default position, and then you can tinker ever so slightly if you need to. So ankle mobility will affect how comfortable a perfectly straight cleat angle is.